It's time we turn our attention to this guy.
Questions have to be asked.
Slot. I mean, it's not the right game, but it's the same scoreline. So we've kept that.
Yeah.
There is a lot of conversation that's starting, and I just came from Talksport with Sam, who is also a Liverpool fan, and I asked him this question, and he got quite heated, and I'm sure it's going to be the same over here. But you have lost. Liverpool Football Club have lost 6 out of the last 7 games. We haven't seen a turning point. We thought Madrid was that turning point, but we haven't seen that since. Arne Slot won the league in his first season. We cannot take anything away from that.
No.
However, Liverpool Football Club cannot go on this way. At what point? How many losses will it take? Where do you have to be in the league for you to say, okay, maybe this is not the guy. Maybe there is someone else that can get the best out of Liverpool and these players, who are very good players, might I add, than Arne Slot.
I think there's again tonight been a lot of retrospective kind of reactionary kind of social media posts. Again, it's people saying, you know, I told you should have been out. I said this last month. Me personally, the type of fan that I am, I'm always still going to back the infrastructure that we have in place to get us out of that, until I think it's totally failed, broken down, the communication's gone, the dressing room's gone, all of these things that traditionally when you add them into the melting pot do get a manager sacked. Until I can tick off all those boxes, then of course with new evidence presented, as we always say on this show, then I can of course make a more kind of up-to-date decision then. And there's a lot of revisionism and stuff like that, so I'm not involved in all of that. My thing is, as a fan, I mean, your question was how long has he got? I'm looking at the fixtures now.
How many losses? Because we're looking at 6 out of 7. So how many losses would it take for you to start changing your opinion?
Yeah, it's a very valid question.
To answer it.
Yeah, you're
just beat around the bush,
you're dilly-dallying.
No, let me get into it. So Liverpool PSV on Wednesday night. It's a Champions League game. Look, if you win that, you go a step closer to automatic qualification. It would prove to be, how many times have I said this, some kind of morale booster. And then West Ham away next Sunday, who again, off the back of 2 wins, a draw today, they should have put that game to bed.
Mate, if you lose to West Ham,
if you lose to West Ham, that's very bad. You know, Wednesday night, Sunderland at home, who are going to be no slouches. I mean, they'll be looking at what Forest did today and thinking, let's just do that. Let's go and employ that again. Leeds away. No matter how poor Leeds are, that's always a tough away game, 5:30 on a Saturday.
These are all very on paper winnable fixtures.
Inter, exactly. This was the start of the manageable run. And then you've got Inter away in the Champions League again. Get a result there, get you a bit closer. Brighton at home, Tottenham away, Wolves at home. I would think, and listen, at this stage right now, I still back the manager. I still do it. And I don't think I should be...
haven't answered.
Well, I'm getting onto it, Abby.
Come on,
It's taking long, people, isn't it?
We're on for an hour, guys. God.
So my opinion is I'm still backing the infrastructure that we have there. Your question was, when would it change? Let's say by Christmas. Let's say until the new year, I think, is the time frame, and you're looking at 8 games there. It's enough time to try and do something.
Losses.
So it's got to be, I don't know, 4 out of the next 8.
I think you're asking the right question.
I am asking the right question.
Yeah,
and also, this is not me saying I think Arne Slot should be sacked. I'm impartial here. I'm here to wind you up.
Yeah.
That's the face.
Listen, I'm just doing my job, just here to wind you up, here to get a giant nibble and here to get a good clip. So let's be real. I don't care if Arne Slot is there or not, but I'm just saying, if this was me and I was asked many a times over the last few seasons, how many more times you're going to lose before you get off the motorway for Ange? How many more times? And I said to you, I'll wait till all the players are back. And then I said, lads, I'm off. You know, I think I was 15 losses in last season, and we went to 22. So, you know, I stayed for quite a while. But it's a normal question to ask, especially when you've won the league last season, and that was a team that was really barely changed. There was a few tactical elements that were changed, but overall, that squad hadn't had any improvements to it apart from Chiesa, who barely featured anyway. So this is the first time, which I can appreciate. There are so many outside factors, in the sense that you've spent a lot of money and bought in lots of different players. There's a balance to be worked out there. You've lost someone. I know that Liverpool fans don't like to talk about it, but Trent, what he has clearly,
chance for City.
Clearly,
corner.
what Trent had been offering to someone like Mohamed Salah, as well as just in general to the team and the way that you attack, the way you build up, it's a huge loss, despite the fact that none of you will want to admit that because of your grievances with him. I think when you're having a look at someone like Van Dijk and Konate, they are nowhere near it at the moment. You don't have the depth to come and replace that because you didn't do well enough in the window in terms of centre-back options and really looking at that. I think also this is the first time we're seeing Arne Slot be really tested in terms of what his managerial capabilities are like. And of course, we cannot, we cannot forget the massive impact that Diogo Jota's loss has been on the squad. Now, it's not to use it as an excuse, guys, but...
No one's ever used it as an excuse, but it's just real life, isn't it?
It's real life. And what I would say is that grief, it carries itself... There's no end goal to it. It's different, very, very different.
Yeah.
There is, however, a point where you have to start winning games.
I would say you've got to win 6 out of the next 8. There's 8 games there. There's 4 home, 4 away. I say if you don't win at least 6 out of those next 8, then obviously there's going to be some tough decisions to be made. But again, get through this stage and then try go and get someone in January to help boost the squad. We heard him say in the press conference on Friday that centre-backs aren't our only problem in terms of positions that we still need to address.
Do you think midfield is now a position?
I think it was a position in the summer that we didn't address. Actually, yes, of course, centre-back was probably the main priority that we didn't tick off in the summer. But I think we needed another winger and we needed another midfielder. I actually think we were 3 short going into this season. That's what I thought. And then obviously the mask of the first 6 games gets pulled away. A few injuries start to happen. And you go, actually, we did go and get all the shiny toys that everyone is so impressed with us about, but we didn't fix the source really, or address more of the little cogs around the shiny toys to make the shiny toys work. So 4 away, 4 at home, win 6 out of the next 8. I think you scrape through into the new year. If you lose 2, 3, 4, then I think it will.
Let's also be honest. Your first five games that you had picked up points and you'd won, your performances had been really poor anyway. You were just getting over the line.
And that's why it's still a worry, because even the end of last season, the performances
that was where I was going.
poor.
Yeah. So we're going all the way back to probably last March, April time.
It's not a pattern now, is it?
It's just been masking over,
which is worrying.
I feel like Alexander Isak. I mean, he was virtually invisible today.
Yeah.
And I know there is a lot of pressure and there is a lot of money that's been spent, but at the same time, we can't say he's not match fit anymore. It's been months. How are you not match fit? How are you not ready?
And I agree with you, Abby. I agree with you. Literally, when he's on the pitch, it doesn't necessarily look like he's gonna sprint down at the goalie and press and hurry and force a mistake. He still doesn't. I know he's fit technically, well, according to the manager and obviously the time that he's had now to settle in. But for me,
can we get a smile?
He's struggling, people.
Can we get a smile?
He's struggling.
Lift to the smile.
But for me, he doesn't look fit on it. And it's it's limbering around. He had a half chance today where it's kind of popped up in the box. It's probably a good opportunity to put your laces through it. He kind of comes at it with the side foot and squanders the half chance. But it's not just him, Abby. It's everyone today. It's not just him. No one played well. We barely created any chances today. And again, before we go further and rightly so criticise Liverpool, we must credit Nottingham Forest. And do you remember around this table on Thursday, everyone was saying, it's a banker. Robbie,
hang
on, but Robbie had it for obviously beat Robbie. He's out, right? So good luck to everyone winning 47p or whatever it is. That's great.
Thanks for the 47p.
And I always knew, I was very cautious about saying that this one was a banker. I always had this thing in the back of my mind. If we don't score early, Deitch, last time he played us, he beat us with Everton. Forest, obviously, again, they're just another team that have been added to the bogey team list. Palace are up there. Seems like we can't really beat any side convincingly, have any control. The scary thing for me today is the lack of chances created. When we were losing 3 or 4 in a row, we were still scoring and we were still creating, but missing chances. Today we didn't create anything, which is a big, deep worry for me. And that has to change. Obviously it needs to change. Obviously it needs to change as soon as possible. But this was supposed to be the run of, the more manageable games, and we've lost 3-0 at home. And it's not that we've lost 2 3-0s in a row. We've conceded 6, not scored. We've got minus goal difference.
It's bad. It's bad.
You know, it's the worst team I've seen Liverpool since I went there
really
in December 2010.
We didn't really give the credit, actually. I don't really think we did. I think just to touch on that, then we can go back to cooking you.
Yeah. Elliot Anderson bossed the game.
Absolutely,
He controlled the game.
Absolutely, he did. And I also think the way in which that was set up, it was such a Deitch game, you know, very, very compact, sit in, very tight, really suffocated your whole midfield. They were very, very close together for a lot of that game, especially in the second half. And it was like one of those, let's just let them have the possession, let Liverpool dominate in terms of those stats and those numbers. That's fine. We will hit you when it hurts. They barely.
Well, they did last season.
In the first 20-25 minutes, Forest didn't even get out of their half.
No,
you know, they were
pinned
pegged
them
back,
They
but they were clinical every single time. What did you think of? What did you think of the game?
I thought, because I watched it, and I took a good look at Liverpool, because I've always looked at their defence, and I feel like it was a tale of the two defences. Obviously, you got Murillo, who was solid today. Obviously, scored a goal. Williams at left back. You got Savannah, and then what was it, Milenkovic, who they all put in a good shift. They were all united in terms of at the back. Nothing got past them. The blocks were there, and then you look at the Liverpool defence. They look so disjointed. I would have probably started Robertson instead of started Kirkers.
I think because of the hangover from
the World Cup. I know
he didn't train as well when he
didn't
came
train.
back.
I get it, and obviously we might touch on that in terms of like the interview that he gave because I feel like there's two sides to it. There's a psychological side where Liverpool are struggling, and I think Robertson gave an insight because he's one of the strongest characters in the club.
One of the leadership team.
And the most senior, most experienced, one of the most experienced. And if he's struggling, how do you think these lot are? You would think, coming off the back of an international break, that they would have had time to prepare. And obviously, Arne Slot, I think after the game, he held his hands up and he said, "You know what? Yeah, this is on me." I think it's the manner in which you lot lost. Not only the fact that you didn't have as many chances, but this is Anfield. This is the fortress. This is the place that all the top players, past and present, they name and they say, this is the place where if you go there and the sun is down and it's a full crowd, they're going to win. It doesn't matter what type of team that comes to the Anfield. And I just feel like Nottingham Forest, they didn't seem like they were scared. They didn't seem like they were worried. They didn't play like it either.
At this point, there is no fear factor about Liverpool, which is, I think, that is the most worrying thing. Like, I look at Liverpool and I look at the lack of physicality you have. And I understand that the Premier League this season has gone a lot more down the physical route. Obviously it's a very physical league in general, but less away from the flair players and more into kind of those, you know, direct players, ones that are super strong on the ball, which is basically what Forest are in the way that they are and the way that they recruit. But Liverpool just look very lightweight. They don't remotely look like they're at it.
McAllister looked weak. He was getting brushed off the ball. You know, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch at times, even Curtis Jones. And that's something, even though Liverpool, you got your Konates, you got your Van Dijk, obviously he's 6 foot tall, etc. Usually they're renowned for the grit, the hunger. That's something that is a Liverpool thing. And you didn't see none of it. You saw, as you said, we saw Anderson more or less bossing the game, bossing the midfield. And then Igor Jesus as well up top, giving Van Dijk a hard time, getting to the ball first, them interplaying with Ndoye as well. I thought he played really good as well. So it's worrying signs, because I really thought that, speaking to a lot of Liverpool fans, they said after the Real Madrid and the Villa game, they said, we're back. This is it.
We're back.
And I always said if we'd beaten City, then we'd be back, because how can you not be after those Villa, Madrid and City performances? We didn't get the result there, and it's just doubly compounded today after, like you say, a 2-week break where you would think that
you could reset.
There would have been some. Listen, it didn't help Friday morning when Arne Slot says, by the way, Florian Wirtz out for 6 weeks and Conor Bradley's going to be out for probably 3 or 4 weeks as well.
It's not like Florian Wirtz.
No, the only reason I'm saying the only reason I'm saying that is because we all assumed that everyone did get back injury free, and then you get hit with a blow there instantly. Szoboszlai has to go to right back because Frimpong's not on the pitch, so that obviously didn't help the preparations. But there is no excuse, because, like I said, Forest to a man,
they were fantastic.
And do you know what? It's actually their best performance in months and months. Because let's not forget, at the end of the season they massively fell off. They curtailed. That could potentially be their best performance of 2025 as a calendar year.
Well, yeah, quite possibly.
it will
But also,
be.
they've had so much like disjointedness, Nottingham Forest, over the last few
And that's
months.
why I have
They've
to
had
give
3
them credit.
managers in 4 months. Also, guys, please do get involved with us. Please do send in your super chats. Also, our WhatsApp number, we can put that up on the screen. We want to hear
Chance for
from you.
City.
Send us your WhatsApp, send us your voice notes, send us your videos. Keep them clean, guys. They will be vetted. But send us